If you got an itch you couldn't scratch after watching the Armored Core 6 trailer a couple of weeks ago, and have already finished all 18 Armored Core games excluding the mobile games, or you're just someone who's just wanting to break into the genre, I've got the exact thing for you. Here are 5 games you should be playing while waiting for Armored Core 6 to drop. If you're a huge anime fan and has been wanting to play Armored Core, Demon X Machina is the game for you. This has all the makings of a JRPG, the never-ending NPC banter.
Let's get this mission underway.
Private channel disconnected. The contents of your communication were not recorded.
So what were you two getting all chatty about?
Cringy and pretentious dialogues.
Lacking still. There's something here I want you to awaken if possible. The thread continues to be spun.
An edgy character.
What are you sulking about? I just wish everyone would die.
And a tutorial that takes forever to finish. I played for an hour non-stop and I'm still getting tutorial lessons. Story-wise, I have no clue since I skipped all the cutscenes. According to the Steam page, you are a new breed of human fighting for humanity's survival against corrupted AIs. Demon X Machina tries to set itself apart from the Armored Core series by having a customizable avatar that you could also upgrade separately from your mech. The game also has a lobby where you can roam around where you can check your mech out on the actual hangar. The lobby also serves like an interactive menu system. For example, if you want to customize your mech or just go into a mission, you have to visit a control panel. If you want to customize or upgrade your avatar, you also have to visit a specific shop to do that. Customization is fairly detailed, but obviously not as in-depth as what you can do in Armored Core. You can still pick any weapon, body parts, paints, and decals. Combat and playstyle wise, Demon X Machina is fairly similar to that of Armored Core 5's.
Be compromised. A sandstorm is interfering with optical monitoring. Do not expect effective base support.
If you ever imagine what would Armored Core look like in zombie apocalypse, it would look like Mecha Knight's Nightmare. The overall story is pretty hazy to me, but apparently there's an ongoing war between NATO and Russia-China alliance. Suddenly, there's an outbreak of titans. God knows what caused that, though you end up fending those things off the entire game using your customizable mech. Customization is pretty good as you can change any part to your liking, from head to toe, shoulder weapons, handheld weapons, computer upgrades, you name it. Movement feels similar to Armored Core 5, though it feels relatively lightweight. Visuals are also fairly similar to Armored Core 5 if you remove the grungy greenish tint of that game. Visual effects are pretty good, though the sound effects are a bit lacking for my taste. Overall, the game is well done considering it's been developed by a single person. Gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. Shoot all the titans, don't run out of ammo and energy, and survive the wave. The game is basically Left 4 Dead but with mechs. If you like the fast-paced gameplay of Armored Core for answer and wish that the gameplay would never end, well, Project Nimbus is basically that game. However, the caveat here is there's no mech customization, only mech selection with upgradable stats. Story-wise, I have no clue what's going on since I dropped the campaign 2 missions in. There were expositions during the missions, but I was too busy firing missiles and listening for missile alerts. Instead, I jumped into the Warfront mode where you can select mech and missions to do ad infinitum. You could also go into survival mode where everything is unlocked to do one thing: survive. Visuals and graphics are pretty solid, and this game has more color instead of the usual depressing and washed out color overtone FromSoft fans learn to love. Gameplay-wise, Project Nimbus is pretty much an AC4A clone, and the game even has its own version of White Glint. If you want a more grounded and more realistic mech game, then MechWarrior 5 is your best bet. The game has great customization, though is a bit different than what you can do in Armored Core. You cannot mix and match body parts, while the weapons you can equip depends on the mech type you are building. You also have to be mindful of your weapon loadout and heat generation because this is what happens when you don't. Another key difference with Armored Core is that you can survive and finish a mission as long as your head and torso is intact. MechWarrior 5 also has a lobby where you can roam around, including a hangar where you can check your mechs. If you get your shit blown up during a mission, you definitely see on your mech while it's getting repaired on the hangar. Meanwhile, the story is a nice break considering you're not trying to save the universe. Instead, you're just trying to find out who ganked you and killed your dad because you couldn't leave a loot box behind.
To do great things. I just know it.
Gameplay-wise, it plays similar to the slower pace of the first to third gen Armored Cores, but MechWarrior 5 remains several notches slower in comparison.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Initially released in 2004, this 2018 re-release showcases peak FromSoft mech game.
Verifying the target 1,300 feet below. Please complete boarding procedures before getting in.
Roger that. Have a ton of tickets. Let's party!
Sneaked into the base successfully.
Metal Wolf Chaos XD is pretty much a third-person shooter.
Escape via the Eagle Star in the underground base. Now I'll open the entryway to the underground base. Please give your guests some face time with the Commander-in-Chief.
where you can mostly customize your weapon loadout. Weapon upgrades come in the form of weapon research, sometimes through loot drops. Mech customization is pretty bare bones as this is only done through skin selection. I don't want to spoil you the game story, so let me just show you early game cutscenes.
Like they were ever invited. They're definitely...
Michael!
That wraps up our list for the top AC5-like games while waiting for Armored Core 6. If you have a favorite mech game that is not on the list, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing.